Okay, so generative AI has absolutely exploded onto university campuses. But here's the thing, it's not just some shiny new tool. It's creating this massive dilemma. You've got students using it to get ahead, and then you've got professors caught right in the middle, just trying to figure out the new rules of the game. So let's break down what's really going on with this campus revolution. So just how big is this, really? Get ready for this number. A survey from the Digital Education Council found that a whopping 86% of students are already using tools like ChatGPT for their schoolwork. Yeah, 86%. This isn't some trend on the horizon, folks. It's the new standard right now. And when you see a number like that, it just brings up the central question for literally every university out there. What are the rules? I mean, seriously, how do you even begin to govern a technology that's spreading like wildfire? All right, so let's start with what we're calling the AI student revolution. And let me be super clear about this. This isn't some far-off futuristic thing. Nope. This is the reality on campus today. And the speed of this whole thing, it's just staggering. Check this out. A KPMG survey in Canada found that in just 1 year, one single year, student use of GenAI jumped from 52% to almost 60%. That's not a gradual shift, That's a tidal wave. And the really crucial point here is that this isn't some niche tool for a few techie students. No way. For students today, AI is becoming as fundamental as a calculator was for us. They're using it for everything, brainstorming ideas, summarizing dense readings, even helping draft their assignments. We're talking about a total, fundamental shift in how learning even happens. So you have students jumping on this tech at lightning speed. And the universities? Well, they're left scrambling to respond. It's basically a massive game of institutional catch-up. And when you actually look at the AI policies coming out of Canada's top universities, a really clear pattern starts to emerge. They're all wrestling with the same four big things: trying to promote ethical and transparent use, figuring out how to integrate AI into classes, providing support, and then there's the big one, the real kicker: giving individual instructors the final say. And that last point, instructor autonomy, well, that's pretty much the core of the whole problem. See, instead of creating clear, top-down rules for everyone, the universities have basically handed this incredibly complex and messy issue right over to their professors. It's like, here you go, you figure it out. And this delegation of responsibility, if you want to call it that, has created what we're calling a professor's dilemma. It's an almost impossible situation for educators who are just trying to do the right thing, but they're stuck in this world without any real guidance. So let's break this dilemma down. On the one hand, the universities have basically said, hey, professors, you've got the keys to the car. You have the autonomy to manage AI in your own classroom. You're in charge. Okay, but here's the catch. The massive catch-22. Their number one job is to uphold academic integrity and prevent cheating. But, and this is a huge but, their own institutions have explicitly told them not to use the one and only tool that's actually designed for that purpose: AI detection software. So think about that. They've been given this enormous responsibility, but had the main tool to do the job taken right out of their hands. Now, you might be asking, why on earth would universities ban these tools? And look, there's actually a very good, very serious reason. As this quote from McGill University points out, the AI detectors we have right now, well, they're just not reliable. They spit out false positives, which can lead to students being wrongly accused of cheating. And that's just a devastating nightmare scenario for everybody involved. This whole mess, it creates a very specific kind of stress. And yeah, academics actually have a name for it: techno-pedagogical anxiety. I know, it's a mouthful, right? But it basically describes that feeling of being totally overwhelmed when you're expected to manage some new piece of technology in your classroom, but you've been given zero guidelines, zero resources, and zero training. And for countless professors, this is their daily reality now. Okay, so if professors are stuck in this impossible bind, what does that mean for the bigger picture? What are the stakes for the entire education system? Well, this dilemma leads directly to a huge risk for something we all count on: academic integrity. It really forces us to ask a pretty scary and critical question. What happens when the rules are there on paper, but they just can't be enforced? Well, the potential consequences are really, really serious. You could see a real decline in the critical thinking and writing skills that university is supposed to be all about. It could normalize cheating, just make it part of the culture. That erodes trust in the whole system, and ultimately, it could diminish the value of the very degrees that students are working so incredibly hard to earn. I mean, the stakes really couldn't be any higher. And let's be real, this problem isn't just going to vanish. There's this idea in tech called the technology acceptance model, and it's super simple. People adopt new tech when it's useful and easy to use. Well, guess what? Generative AI is off the charts useful and incredibly easy. So its integration into student life isn't just likely, it's pretty much inevitable. But okay, it's not all doom and gloom, I promise. The research here doesn't just throw its hands up and point out the problem, it actually points toward a solution. And the solution isn't about banning AI or building better detectors, it's about fundamentally redesigning education for a world where AI is everywhere. So, what does that path forward actually look like? Well, the research lays out a pretty clear four-step plan. Number one, redesign assignments to work with AI, not fight against it. Number two, give the faculty the effective training they're crying out for. Number three, invest in AI literacy for everyone, students, faculty, staff. And finally, number four, develop clear, unified policies so that individual professors aren't left on an island trying to figure this all out by themselves. And there's a real sense of urgency here. The consensus is crystal clear. Canadian universities cannot afford to lag behind on this. And why is that? It's simple. Employers are already making it known that they want graduates who know how to work with AI. It's quickly becoming a critical, non-negotiable job skill. But ultimately, this isn't about just handing everything over and letting AI take the wheel. As Professor Mary Kelly from Carleton University puts it so well, the whole point is for us, for humans, to guide this innovation with things like fairness and public safety in mind. AI has to be a tool that makes us better, that enhances our abilities, not something that replaces our own critical judgment. Which brings us to one last really big question to think about. We don't ban calculators from math class, right? We just redesign the tests to account for them. So if AI is the new calculator, but for thinking and writing, how in the world do we redesign that test?